Good morning, YouTubers. We're into another orange whip video, the third of the installment. 3 of 3. So we've done the takeaway, we've addressed the impact zone. And today, number 3, we're going to talk about, start to get some juicy stuff going, I would call it. So we're going to talk about the top of the backswing, start of the downswing, give you some options as far as shot options go, whether you want to hit it right to left or left to right. And hopefully I'll be able to explain why dead straight is not really the option. We're into a new whip as well, in chewing through these things, and rightfully so, without doubt. Certainly one of the best training aids I've ever come across, and man, I've got a few of them. So, let's get to work. So obviously we've covered, or a little quick reminder, we've covered the takeaway move with the orange ball staying outside the white ball, if you remember that, and staying on top. And then we did the change of direction, start of the downswing, where we obviously start to have maybe a loop if you want one, but more importantly, you're trying to marry the back and through, so the orange ball's outside, the white ball, and we start to have a little bit of body pivot, if you remember those. If you don't, if you can't remember those two little bits and pieces, look down in the comments below, or that area below, the description, and I'll have those two little things, links to those two videos. But today we're going to be going from here to here and start to match in what happens next. So ideally, especially with these heavier training aids, they help us get a very important feeling, and that is where the weight of the balance of the club would be going. So once we get here, we can start to feel that at this halfway point here, I would like you to try and get a sensation for the weight of the ball. Now, if you've got the club shaft a bit too flat, it's going to be quite heavy, and then as you change directions, it's going to get into a heavier position, which has the tendency to create a whole bunch of other exciting movements, like AK, you know, the old classic over the top, falling backwards to the strike zone, and nothing really exciting. So we want to try and get into the habit of getting it into what I would call a light position. So it's fairly vertical. From face on, it'll look kind of something like that. You haven't swayed with the ball, you still stay on top of it, but it's in a somewhat a light position. With the counterbalancing from the little heavy white ball, it's quite easy to start to feel that hinge. So you've got that great takeaway, and then she's up into that light spot. And then as you change directions, you can let that heaviness of the ball do its thing. It's going to naturally shallow a little bit. Now, from there, if you chose to, or decided to hit it right to left, you can go up, and then as you change directions, you can start to become aware of this point here. Now, if the orange ball's here and the white ball's outside, oh hey mate.
Good morning. You're just in progress?
Yeah.
Good. That's good.
Living the dream, right? Alright, you go grab your clubs, mate.
Yeah.
Just living the dream here, I tell you. Coffee is on order and everything. Here we go. So where were we? We're the start of the downswing. White ball there, orange ball in here on the inside. And then that would allow me to create this nice little into-out path. And then as you exit, it's out there. That's going to be a little push draw, and I'll make a little video and stick that on top of that. You'll show it now, of me hitting this little push draw with that feel. Cool. And then if you wanted to hit it a little fade shot from that same posse, as you change direction, you're going to not let it kind of drop too much. You're going to feel like, even if it does, you're going to make sure that when you get to this point here, you have the orange ball outside the white ball, which would create a more left to right shape on the golf ball, because the club head would be staying out in front of your hands as it comes through. And then if you chose to try and do perfectly straight, good luck for a start. But if you get it up here, same again, same feel. As you come down to this point, you've got to try and get it to be perfectly, pretty much on plane. So the orange, from down the line, the orange ball almost cover where the white ball is, and then you would try and be perfectly zero here, and then exit perfectly zero there. Very hard to be in that same place every time, so that's why I always recommend either having a curve to the right or curve to the left, which is predictable, and then you know where to aim. Aim left, aim right, and then the ball can curve in a predictable fashion, and you know what's going to happen to the golf ball before you hit the golf ball, which is a much more enjoyable experience than aiming straight at it and then it peels away from the target. So, anyways, back on task. So we've got the main new learning is going to be just getting used to where is this at, trying to get in this light position while still trying to stay nicely centered over the ball in this light position. And as you change direction, depending on what your bad shot is, if you slice the ball, obviously you're going to want to learn this feel here, and then if you hook the ball too much, you're going to want to learn that feel there of having the orange ball outside your hands. And then the bonus with this wonderful tool here is that counterbalance, is as it comes through here, it will naturally let you feel the correct, or fairly, let you release it. Obviously, still through the impact zone, as we've learnt before, you're going to want to have that white ball leading that orange ball into the impact area, regardless of whether it's a fade action or the more draw action. That's not going to change. It's still going to be leading in. You don't want to have the club head leading the hands. It's not a good option. So you're going to get into there, and then from there you're going to let it release. So you'll start to feel light, and then you can pick your poison, and then it's going to be flipped over and light again. So once you've got those moves going, everything's going to start to feel quite a little bit longer and on plane, and that will produce a lovely little 3/4 half controlled action. And if you're perfect from here to here, not only are you going to start to strike the ball immensely far for a short amount of effort, but also you're going to start to, as we've covered today, have a slightly predictable ball shape, which is a wonderful feeling when you're playing and you go, what's this ball going to do? Oh, it's going to curve that way, or it's going to curve that way. Then you can pick your target, your small precise target, and then let it go with confidence. All right, I hope that all made sense, and I think the next little one, our last step, we'll start talking about how to use it in a potential way to generate longer, faster swings. But yeah, certainly plug away with this and start to get a feel for where it is in space after you've built up that feeling of takeaway to impact, takeaway to impact, takeaway to impact, and then by all means get more upright, and then you can start to feel, like I said, the dropping it, and the release for the draw action, the up in front, and then almost keeping it out in front. And you'll start to see where this orange ball going in space. For the fade, it's going to be working across. You can visually see the orange ball doing that when you're swinging it. Or for the draw, it's going to go a little more out, a little more flippy with the draw, but such is life. Hopefully that makes sense. Hope you've had a great week and have an awesome weekend in store. And thanks for watching.